Hey guys, it's Misty Buck, president of Miss Inc. Digital Marketing, and we are here for another majestic, magical, marvelous, whatever you want to call it, Marketing Monday. We're going to fit in all the awesome adjectives that we can
Don't forget
today.
Misty.
And don't forget Misty.
Monday.
Yeah, we're going to forget Misty. Well, we can't forget Misty, I should say. But how can you forget? I'm right here. Anyhow, we're not here for me. We're here to talk today to Brent Huffman. He is the president of Corporate Safety Solutions. He also happens to be a speaker and presenter extraordinaire, very involved in Doral Toastmasters, right? That's it. So he's going to talk to us today about his presentation and speaking tips. He's got a lot of awesome stuff to give. He actually just did a presentation over at FIU a couple of weeks ago. So we know his stuff is going to be awesome. So before we jump into that, Brent, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little about who you are, what you do, all the good stuff.
My name is Brent Huffman, president of Corporate Safety Solutions. I help small companies, medium-sized businesses with their safety and risk management programs. I'm also a professor at Florida International University. I teach at the College of Engineering in the Department of Construction Management. And I got a third job. I'm also an instructor at the OSHA Training Institute at Volunteer State Community College in Gallatin, Tennessee. So I stay busy with my time.
And you have a wife and two kids, and two little kids.
I got a wonderful wife that just helps me manage everything, including my business life, personal life. And I got two young, wonderful, amazing little boys, and I couldn't do it without Abuela.
Oh my. So I have a time management question for you before we get into the presenting stuff. How the heck do you balance all that?
Time management, you got to do a schedule. If you don't have a schedule, you just wake up in the morning, you have no idea where you're going. That schedule.
I mean, that's generally what I do. Even if I have a to-do list, I feel like I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing. Thank God for the show. I have a place to be every Monday at noon. But other than that, I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
I kind of think about it like, how many of us start building a building in construction not knowing how many floors that we have? I always keep that in the back of my mind. So
that's a good analogy.
It's that you got to know where you're going in order to get started.
Yeah.
I find so many people have no idea where they're going, with their businesses, with their social media.
Yeah.
With nothing. They don't have a plan.
Yeah. You need a plan. You need a plan. So it is Marketing Monday. So as we're talking about plans, we've talked a lot about social media strategy and all that stuff in the past and how you're growing your business. So let's talk, before we jump into your speaking tips, I want to ask, when you just got your business started, like 2018, 2019, right?
Like it was around 17.
Oh, 17.
I came to see the mystical, magical Misty in the beginning of 2018 to get squared away.
My gosh, has it been that long already?
I don't
time
know.
is flying.
Yeah.
So we've been growing your business steadily, right? A lot of networking, and that led you to Doral Toastmasters, right?
Yes.
So talk to us about what Toastmasters is, and then I got to get some tips from you because I may seem like I know what I'm doing when I'm speaking, but I really don't. So
let me start out with Toastmasters, tell you what Toastmasters has done for me, tell you what I think Toastmasters can benefit all of you out there. So Toastmasters is an international club. It's got about 360,000 members worldwide, and there's basically a club everywhere. Just think about where you work, play, pray, any of those things that you do in your life. And I'm sure you can go on toastmasters.org website and find a club close to where you do any of those things. So I found one that was close to me in Doral. One of my mentors was a member there. And
this is Eugenio.
Yeah. Gino Jaramillo. He's a great friend of mine, mentor.
Shout out to him.
Fellow club member. And he is a distinguished Toastmaster. He has achieved the highest level of education award that a Toastmaster can achieve in about 39 months. So he did it pretty quick. And I went to Gino one day and I said, Gino, I got to get this Toastmaster distinguished thing behind me. What can I do? And so he laid out the plan for me. I'm working on it right now.
Awesome.
But people ask me all the time, Brent, why do you do Toastmasters?
Yeah, why do you? I was
why do you
that.
do Toastmasters?
Why do you do all the things you do? Why do you do that
every week?
Yes.
And practice public speaking.
Why?
And I say to them, how often do you go to the gym?
Yeah.
You go every day. You go every other day. Going to the gym is like you want to improve your personal physique. going to Toastmasters is I go there to improve my public speaking skills.
Okay, interesting.
So I'm not the best public speaker there is out there. Many of you may think that I am, but you have to practice.
Yeah.
And you can't just speak in front of the mirror, speak to your friends.
So why of all the skills that you could do, was this the one that you were like, I have to get better at my speaking skills? Like what appeared like
because Warren Buffett says the number one soft skill that you can have is public speaking. And those that can speak publicly get recognized. And the ones that get recognized are the ones that get promoted.
This is true. We're talking all about content, right? It's Marketing Monday. We're always talking about content. So what he's saying is absolutely true. A big piece of content out there is the ability to speak, is people looking you up, seeing what you're up to. And if you can get comfortable, that was the hardest thing for me to do when I started my business in 2008, by the way, because in marketing, you're usually behind the camera. I had to learn to get comfortable in front of the camera. And so that was a really hard transition for me, but especially as we continue through social media and all this digital in this digital space, content is the thing. And so it's not just about putting out pictures and this and that. It's you, every single person, even if you don't run a business, you're a brand, right?
That's the first thing you talked to me about was content. What are we gonna put out there? There's so many people that are trying to do social media and they have no content.
You have no content. And a great way to do it is video, is speaking, is letting people know, hey, you know, this person's a speaker. I heard them speak. That qualifies you as, oh, they must really know what they're talking about, because it establishes authority, in other words. So talk to us about
the biggest turnoff for us when we watch videos or we see content on social media was when they start off saying something like, you know what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, and you know what I'm saying? And did everybody witness Misty's great intro? The welcome to Marketing Monday, the Misty magical. That's the way you do an intro.
Well, thank you for that compliment. You know, I'm not paying him for this, by the way, guys. This is not.
This is teamwork here.
This is teamwork. So tell us okay. So what are some top tips for somebody who may not be good at speaking? They're not comfortable at being on camera. They're not comfortable in front of a group of people. Talk to us about your journey. What are your top tips? I'm asking you so many things in one question, or two or three. We can count later, but tell us.
Let's start off with the fear aspect.
Okay.
Do you know more people are fearful of public speaking than are fear of dying?
Yeah, that's a proven fact.
There's actually a condition called glossophobia that people suffer with. So the number one step you got to get over is the fear part, right? We're gonna make ourselves look goofy. We're gonna say incorrect things. You're gonna say dumb things. You're gonna make mistakes. So don't fear of making mistakes. You have to practice.
Right.
The first time that somebody walked into the gymnasium, did they know what they were doing? Did they walk in and become an expert weightlifter?
Right.
No, they got good because they practice.
Right.
I keep going back to the gym thing because it's something that people do every day and they're consistent about.
Right.
And that's the next thing that you talk to me about, the content and then the consistency.
The consistency. If
you're not consistent in this marketing and this sales and this social media thing, you fall off the view of everybody.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
we did talk about that: content, conversation, and consistency.
Yeah.
Those are our three C's.
I threw in the creativity thing.
Oh, we can add that as number 4.
I got almost like the 4s. We started out with 3.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually doing a speech on the 3 C's of social media this week.
No way. You know, wait a minute. I own that. I should have trademarked this back in 2008 when I started talking about this. I want to hear this speech. So, all right. So if someone wants to become a better speaker, Toastmasters is an option. But what are some other top tools? So you mentioned somebody going and creating a piece of content, right? I'm going to make a video. I'm going to talk about something, whatever that might be. But my intro is lagging. I'm taking time to get to the point. What are your top tips for somebody creating a video, let's say for social media in particular?
So with any great speech, you have to start out with a great, impactful opening statement.
Okay.
You have to wow people, right? You have to get their attention in that first 10 seconds.
Right.
You got to reach out to your audience and you got to dazzle them. You got to draw them in. Like ask them a question. Like the one I always use as an example is, who wants to be a millionaire? Boom. You got everybody's attention.
And you have everyone's attention. That's true. That's a good point. Whether you're talking about
money
that
in the
or
air,
not.
you could open your wallet. But if you ask everybody who wants to be a millionaire, you get everybody's attention. And we're not talking about some gimmicky game show. but you have to have that attention grabbing opening statement that draws everybody in.
Right.
If you don't have that, right to the next page, right to the next video, right to the next picture. They skip over your content. So I would say have that impactful statement and then keep it short and sweet.
Okay.
I always say on videos, keep it between 4 to 6, max 5 minutes. People are going to tune you out after that. Get that impactful statement. Get 2 or 3 really good points in there, and then just don't forget you have to close it.
Yeah, you have to. I like to recap the points.
You have to recap the points. Yeah. You have to close. You have to circle back to the beginning and to that opening statement and really wrap it up and leave them with something to do. Go to my website. Check my website out.
Right.
Follow me on other outlets of social media.
We call that a call to action.
Yeah, a call to action. Right. For those of you that don't all the terminology, I'm giving you the simple version of this.
Yeah, of course.
But I feel like you get to some of this into this videos on social media, and it's like, okay,
now what?
What am I supposed to do now?
Right.
I'm flipped. I'm gone to the next page.
Yeah. Well, you know what's going to blow your mind is videos that are 8 seconds and 15 seconds because of our friends over at TikTok and stories and reels and all these other things. Those short form content videos are actually on the rise more and more than longer
People's
form
attention
content.
span is next to nothing.
Right. So how do you do it? You tell them, this is why you want to watch this. This is what's in it for you. Your attention grabbing thing. Right. So that's super smart. And then keeping it short and simple. That's right in line with how the social media trends are going.
And then once you get all that stuff, you have to be creative. You have to develop something that is new, inviting. Yeah. I see so many people copying what other people have done or reposting or these just gimmicky videos of people dancing. And what is that doing for your brand or your business?
Right. Well,
it's really not creative, and it doesn't draw the attention into the audience.
So is there a creative video that stands out in your mind? Like somebody who gave a creative speech, they did or a presentation, we'll call it, but it's one of these social media videos. It got your attention. It was creative. They hit all the points that you're talking about. Do you have any examples?
I don't, because I don't pay attention a lot. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a social media person. That's why I teamed up with her.
Well,
so maybe you could give us one, but I don't. Yeah. I tell you, I skip over a lot of them because they're not impactful. And I really wish people could come with that opening statement that draws the audience in. Right.
So what are some really good opening statements? You said Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like, what are some other examples?
I've got a contractor I follow on social media, and he comes on social media every day, shows people the projects that he's working on.
Okay.
And he answers a question that he thinks people have every day, or he might get calls from the office every day about certain questions.
Right.
And he targets that on social media.
Yeah.
And he answers those questions, and he goes out to physical job sites and he shows people the answers to the questions while explaining it to them.
Yeah.
That's impactful.
That is impactful.
People are going to remember how you made them feel, not what you said.
Right. Well, and along those lines, I've heard that telling stories is another really impactful way of creating the content. So you can answer that question and say, let me tell you a story about a time that this happened and what the result was, and answer a question that way. Is that true?
The best speeches are storytelling.
Okay.
We want to hear stories.
Right.
People's personal opinions and what I hear this all the time. I'm going to tell you what I think I want you to know. Just tell us a story. People are going to, that's going to make people feel different ways.
Right.
They don't want to be told how to feel.
Right. Right.
So
right.
It's the story thing is, I wish people would, on social media, would focus more on the story sometimes. And the videos are really powerful. Sometimes they just see fixed pictures and they tell you a story. It's not impactful. People are going to remember how you made them feel.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So we have some tips so far from Brent. He says, open with an impactful statement or question, right? Really grab people's attention. Number 2 is keep it short and sweet. And number 3 was have that call to action or telling people what you want them to do at the end of the video, whether that's follow us, go download this ebook for free, whatever it is.
Follow me on the other social media outlets, LinkedIn, my website, send me an email. Here's my phone number.
Okay. So what about the people who they're going to have all that down, but now they get nervous, right? So what is something that you've learned and that you would tell people about how to overcome those nerves? Because you did just mention in the beginning a few minutes ago that it's a fear for people. So what are some of the tools that people can use to get comfortable?
So when I see fellow members in my Toastmasters club come in and they're nervous as a cup of coffee.
As a cup of coffee.
They cannot,
that's a new one.
They can't get a word out of their mouth. They can't say their name. They can't speak. And they just keep doing it week in, week out, and they keep coming. And we've witnessed people that come in, non-native English speakers that come to our club. English is not their first language. They're nervous.
Right.
And they practice every week, and they get comfortable with our club, and they present, and they speak, and they're engaged. They do evaluations of other speakers. I always tell people, you got to practice.
Yeah. I love that.
You have to practice.
I love that.
Every
that
week.
tip. I love it.
All the time.
Yeah. And I will tell you that that's 100% true, because the way I speak right now is not the way I always spoke. I told you guys at the beginning of this that this was not my forte. Being in front of the camera, speaking in front of people was like the last place that I wanted to be. But when I decided to start a business, I wanted to learn these things. And I'll never forget, Brent, I was in BNI. And in BNI, you have the opportunity, it's like once a quarter or 2 times a year, whatever it is, I don't remember anymore, it was so long ago, to give a presentation, right, about your business. Like you're like the speaker of that meeting, right, of that week. And so I did my first one. I was prepared. I had all my notes. I ran through my thing. I was so nervous. And in it, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, can these people can they see if I'm nervous? Like that's in the back of my mind the whole time I'm giving this presentation. And I finish. And the president stands up and says, okay, thank you, Misty. Now you can breathe. It's okay. And I'm like, oh, great. Like now I must have just looked like a complete nervous wreck. But you know what happened is I just kept going there every week. I kept standing up, giving my commercial, kept doing these presentations. And eventually this has become much easier for me.
You know what's funny is
so I love that you said that.
The only person that knows you're nervous is you.
No, well, that was the thing. This person knew. He was like, okay, you can breathe. I must have looked like terrified, but I did it.
The other thing that people are really afraid of is the fear of messing up. The fear of making a mistake.
Yeah.
The only one that knows that made the mistake is you.
Right.
Maybe the audience doesn't know.
Right.
I mean, yeah, if you walk in and trip and fall, yeah, they're going to know that's a mistake. Right. But if you're making a mistake in your speech, the only person to know is you.
Right.
Don't tell the audience you made a mistake.
Right. So, and I like the authenticity.
You get really good by practicing. I just want to make sure that the audience understands that we didn't get good at this by sitting in front of a mirror or in front of our friends speaking. We do it in front of an audience. Right. And that's challenging.
That is challenging. But it's sort of just jumping right into the fire and getting that exposure and that experience. Yeah, that definitely was a big help for me.
And I'll say one more thing.
When I got more than one more thing.
When I started my own business in 2017, I didn't know everything I was going to do. I didn't know the people I was going to impact. I didn't know the people I was going to meet. So one of the things that we do when we go out and we speak publicly is we meet a bunch of people. And we never know where those relationships are going to lead us to. So public speaking, presenting, social media, it's just all tools that we have in our arsenal to go out, sell our business, meet other people, and help other people in the community grow their businesses. I was excited when you started your business, and you were excited when I started mine. Right. And we started working together, and we've helped each other out over the years. Yeah. And that's really when it comes down to is that community and helping one another for sure. So yeah, so I love it. And I think one of the other things that I found has been helpful in terms of getting comfortable speaking and making these videos is, like you were saying, just to do it. But even like if you feel like a total fool, just pause.
Just do it.
Just pause.
But post it anyway. Post it anyway, because by not posting it, you're not going to know, whatever. But chances are if you mess up on a word, people are not going to say, oh my gosh, that person's an idiot. I'm not going to do business with them. They don't know because you messed up one word. Guess what? That's part of normal conversation. I prefer that authenticity versus like the robotic, like it sounds like someone's reading from a teleprompter.
It's so ingenuine.
There's no tone. There's no body language.
Just one other tip for all of you that are out there making videos and creating content. Forget all the filler words, the ums, the likes, you know what I'm saying. just pause. When you feel like you're going to have a break in your thought, just pause.
Oh, but isn't that scary? That scares me.
Just a second, and then continue your thought. But if you say things like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I knew what you were saying and I liked it, I wouldn't be watching.
Wow.
Just pause. Just a natural break. You don't have to fill up all of the sound airways with a word.
That's a really good tip. That's a really good tip. I have not mastered that.
Practice
that's a really good tip.
In Toastmasters. It's called the awe counter. We actually have somebody that sits in the audience and rings a bell whenever you say a filler word.
That would give me an anxiety attack. I would have to take, I don't know what,
but it's
before doing that.
That's what we do
if someone dinged me every time I said,
that's what we do for practice.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? That's like PTSD. I don't know if I could handle that. I would totally just, every time I heard a bell, probably freak out. I'm just kidding. But, maybe not. We don't know.
You see,
never done it.
You just us.
Did I? Yeah. See, there goes my bell. Ding. You said, we can go back and watch this. I bet you I've done it 52 times already.
I probably have too, but you only get good by practicing. And that's one of the ways we try to practice every week in Toastmasters.
Yeah.
It's our public speaking gym.
Right. I love that. Your
1 hour a
public
week.
Speaking gym. So if somebody wanted to get better at public speaking, Toastmasters is something that they're interested in. How can they reach you?
You can reach me. You've got my contact information on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook as well. You can go to our website, corporatesafetysolutions.com. Reach out to me there. My contact information is on the website. You can also go to toastmasters.org.
Okay.
If you want to bypass me and go straight to Toastmasters, go to the place where you find a club, put in your zip code, and you'll be amazed how many clubs are around you in your area. And just go try to find one that's convenient to your time, your work, all of the other things that you have going on in your lifetime. For me, Toastmasters in Doral meets every Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. You get up bright and early, go deliver a speech at 7:30 a.m. and we'll see how dedicated you are. We have about 20 members of our club now. We were up to 25 at some point. We had some reduction in members due to COVID. But one thing that I think that is important for people now in the ages of Zoom and Teams and all these other video conference software is you really got to get good at public speaking in front of an audience before you can do it behind a camera.
Yeah.
It's really challenging behind a camera. Some people think that it's really easy. It's not.
It's sometimes you feel like you're talking to yourself, right? Because you have no audience interaction. There's no the energy. It's a whole different skill set for sure. So thank you for bringing that up. So one final question before we wrap up. So how has becoming a better public speaker and presenter helped your business?
When I started my business in 2017, I didn't know how much marketing and sales I was going to have to do. I thought people were just going to say, hey, that's a good looking guy or a pretty girl over there. And you're going to come just throw money at them for their business.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, if you build it, they will come, right? You're going to start your business and just people are going to come knocking on your door.
Right. We've all been guilty of that.
And so I realized that marketing, the content, the creativity, and the public speaking all went hand in hand. And it was really good. That was, it was what made the content. It was what made my brand. I think people don't even have a brand anymore. So how are they selling something? Like the simple things is creating a company logo and the colors of your business.
Right.
Start out with those things and then you merge all these things together. But public speaking really helped me to sell my brand, sell my product, meet with customers, and really, dazzle them with your brilliance. My brilliance.
So I love this. So I love that. All right. So becoming a better speaker has helped you get better speaking with clients, making sales, etc., and get more comfortable with that. That is such a good tip. Because you're comfortable interacting with people, with presenting what it is, being confident in what you have to say. And that makes a difference when you're selling, doesn't it?
We're all selling and buying something. We're all marketing all day long, whether you think you are or not.
Right.
It's part of your business.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it. We're all in the business development world continuously out the day. And then we do accounting and bookkeeping and all those other things too. But
right.
If you can't speak to people, you're going to have a real difficult time in business.
Yeah. And it doesn't even matter what you're doing. You could be a freelance writer,
Whatever
which is actually what I had
Public
started
speaking
out
can help
doing. It
everybody.
was, but if I couldn't speak to people, same thing, or tell people what I was doing, like, and convey that in a way that they understood. So anyhow, we are out of time. That went by super, super fast. I want to thank you for being here today. Any final thoughts before we close out the show?
If you have any questions about social media, marketing, content, creativity,
I swear I'm not paying him, but thank you. I appreciate that.
She's not paying me. This is she helps me out. It's a teamwork thing. I can't do it all by myself.
Yeah. And that's the key. You really can't do it all by yourself, which is another reason to look into Toastmasters, right? You're not going to become a public speaker just magically talking to yourself. So with that, I'm going to close out today's show. Next week, we have another really awesome guest. We're going to be talking about non-profit marketing and tips in that sphere, somebody who's been doing it for over 30 years. So I'm really excited to bring him on. I want to thank Brent Huffman again for being here today. You can go to corpsafetysolutions.com if you want more information on him and his business and what they're doing over there. You can ask him your presentation questions as well. I'm sure he's happy to answer. And again, I am Misty Buck with Misty Inc. I want to thank you guys for being here. Make it a really awesome week. I know it's only Monday, but we're going to get through this and it's going to be an awesome week. And I will see